testing this one out to the max. It honestly was like a slight more bit harder to manage. It's damaged from when I would like rip all these hairs out. Hi guys, welcome to Emmarie Lane, where my goal is to find you the best beauty products for the best prices. And today we're gonna be battling the new NYX Thicket and Stick It Tinted Brow Mascara versus their original Tinted Brow Mascara to see, do you really need this? Or can you stick with the classics? Because it's a little cheaper. So let's get into it. Okay, I'm going to be doing the new one on the right and the original one on the left. I'm doing the new one on the right because it's supposed to be, as it says, thickening. And we got a lot more sparseness on this side thanks to a scar. So testing this one out to the max. Can we get it open? I need like a letter opener on my desk because this is a reoccurring struggle. I already brushed up my brow hair, so okay, this is not as intense as the Maybelline one, but I do see a lot of little tiny fibers. Okay, according to Amazon, this thickening eyebrow gel tints, tames, and thickens all types of brows with a natural finish that lasts up to 16 hours. A long time. With this ultra buildable vegan tinted brow mascara in 8 high impact shades. Features tinted plant-based fibers that take eyebrows to the next level. It is a one and done experience. It goes for $10.99 on Amazon, and I think it's about the same at Ulta too. And I have it in this shade Cool Ash Brown because I really didn't know which shade to get. So it did a pretty good job, honestly, filling in that gap that I have. I'm going to take a little bit of powder and finish filling it in just where that gap is because that'll drive me nuts all day long, but that's all I'm gonna do with it. But it's definitely more filled in than I thought it would be, honestly, because this is a pretty thin formula. Like I said, I was expecting like Maybelline Tattoo Tint, which that like basically completely fills in the hole that I have. It did a good job, kind of helped filling in my sparser tails because even though I have longer hairs there's still like a couple little tiny gaps from over plucking when I was in high school. It's pretty forgiving. If you get a little bit on your skin, you can just kind of wipe it off as long as it's still wet, and it's not super difficult to use. I know I keep comparing it to the Maybelline one, but it's like the most experience I've had. Like a fiber tinted, supposed to be really like intense brow gel, and it's not as hard to use. Like that one you kind of have to practice at. This one you don't necessarily. Let's move on to the other one. Come on, little guy. I mean, it looks exactly the same. It just doesn't have fibers. Same kind of just classic spoolie. I got it in just the shade Brunette. According to Ulta, this tinted brow mascara sets, tames, and tints your eyebrows in natural looking wear while leaving your brows feeling controlled and soft. It is a foolproof, easy to use, creamy formula that sets, tames, and tints your brows all at once. For more texture, simply add more layers. Okay, that's interesting. Ulta, it goes for $7.50, so it's already cheaper, but I know depending on what shade and depending on where you can get it, it can go down to $4. I think it's Amazon that has it the cheapest, but I don't think all shades go down that far. Still cheaper. Okay, I know the difference. Like almost immediately. At least I feel like I know the difference. This is a lot more pigmented off the bat. I can see a lot more of it on my skin versus in the hairs. It doesn't quite fill in as much, which might not be a big deal to you, but I have like this little gap right here that again is damaged from when I would like rip all these hairs out to try to get this brow to match this brow a little bit more. Love that. Got a lot more in my skin a lot more easily, and it honestly was like a slight more bit harder to manage. And I feel like if you ever used the NYX brow glue, this one is a lot more similar when it comes to getting your brows fluffier and like how much strength it has. This one couldn't brush my brow hairs, which are very stubborn, up quite as far. Or like if you're going for like a laminated brow look like the brow glue does, this one gets a lot closer to that look. I'm going to be testing these out for as long as possible, at least 12 hours. I want to see how close we can get to the like 16-hour idea. We're not going to make it 16 hours, but let me put the rest of my makeup on and I'll be right back. It is currently 11:16. Okay, I filled in the brow a little bit. You can see I just did the part that was like gaping. That just did not look the best. But if you don't have that, that's not gonna be an issue for you. If you do, you're gonna, you know, have to do what I did, and I just filled it in with a little bit of powder. I mean, I like both. Don't tell anyone, but I thought I would just like this better because it had fibers in it, and like automatically that would make it 10 times better. And I don't know if it does necessarily. Like both these have their strengths and weaknesses. As of right now, I'm not sure. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go by my day. I'll do a check-in halfway throughout the day in a little bit more natural lighting so we can see what's really going on a little bit closer up. And then, like I said, we'll test this out as long as possible, at least 12 hours. So I will see you in just a second. Okay, it's been about 6.5 hours, I think, and there have been some updates with the brows. This side, especially towards the front end, has lost a lot of its like perkiness. I don't know what else to call it. My brow hairs have started to win in the fight of staying up where I want them. And on this side, you can see things are still pretty much in the same place as they were before. Besides that, there's not a huge difference. You can really see the color difference. So this is a warm tone and this is a cool tone, just in case you're curious, in this lighting at least. But there aren't any like smudging or anything like that. You can just see the color on my skin a lot more because the brow hairs have kind of started going straight this way versus being a little bit more at an angle. But besides that, everything seems pretty okay, but we'll see what happens at the end of the day. It is, come on, focus, 1:56. We got some updates. So the original brow tint is starting to flake right underneath my brow bone. It's not matte mascara because it's brown and not black. And also I feel like it just kind of looks more fuzzy and faded along the top. And also my brow hairs are right back to where they want to be. The Thicket, it's a weird name. The brow hairs have moved some, but not a ton. Not nearly as much as the original one. I feel like it still looks a lot more new. The only thing that's really faded more is the powder that I put on my scar area, and that can happen sometimes. Sometimes it'll rub off a little bit more because it doesn't have a ton to stick to. But besides that, I feel like it just looks like a lot more put together, and so this is good. I don't have any necessarily, there's like nothing super wrong with it, but this is pretty awesome. I kind of want to compare it to like the brow glue and see like old wise to see if it'll do any better. Let me know if you want to see that, but I think you should go with this even though this is a lot cheaper, unless you just like literally need a tiny bit of color to your brows and you really don't care about the rest. But if you really like the 2-in-1 option, this is pretty awesome. If you want to see a battle between the NYX brow glue and another one of Maybelline's brow sticks, it's supposed to be like an all-in-one thing, you can click right here. I'll link everything I talked about in the description box below. Those links are affiliate links, so I do get a small percentage of the profits if you use my links to buy the product, which does not affect you in any way. I love you guys so much, and don't ever forget that you are enough. Bye! Mwah!